Channel. Today we're going to do some basic introduction on Git. So let's start. First of all, it is a version control system, and you can also use Git in itself, but most commonly, it is used as a product. For example, GitHub and GitLab are the currently more common products. There are many other type of products also. GitHub is owned by Microsoft, and GitLab is also a similar product. Basically, they are technically websites, and in the backend they are using Git to manage the versioning. Another one that is popular nowadays is Atlassian. It is from Salesforce, I think. Don't quote me on this, but this is just to give you the idea that there are many products available related to Git. Now, what is Git? So Git is a version control system. Okay, it was created by Linus Torvalds. So this guy created this version control system just as an open source software, not intentioning to make profit, but not intentioning to make it open source either. He was just using it to control manage his own projects. And by the way, he is also the creator of Linux. So how does Git work? It is, if you use Git directly in command line, there are other products available. For example, GitHub has GitHub Desktop, which simplifies the process. But if you want to use it directly in command line, which is the most like you will have the most control over the operations if you use it in command line, because in UI you need to wait for the UI feature to be available that uses that particular Git command. But all that aside, how it is used is, so it starts with the binary just like any other program. In any other program that you run in command line, you first put the binary, then you have different commands like pull, push, clone. So if you take the example of pull is used to pull a repository from a remote place or anywhere you have the location for, even in your own desktop. If you have a location where there's a repository, you can pull that. And to give you an example, this is a Flappy Bird project that is hosted in GitHub, and since I have the URL of the project, I can pull it. Okay, just don't quote me on the URL also, because it has to end with .git, which I missed. So basically, if you have the Git URL, you can pull it. Now, the just like I mentioned, there are different kind of products. This is an example of GitHub. Just like that there are other products like GitLab or Atlassian, and they have their own repository, and the URL will change accordingly. So how it works is basically almost like how internet works. They say these are the clients, these are the two computers are the clients, say developers or workers who are working on the technology. They made a change or created some feature. Then what they do is they send it to the product or the service, GitHub as a service. Either that, or they have Git installed in their on-premise servers. So basically one of those two things, or one of these multiple things similar to that. So basically they push it to a server or repository. Then from that repository, the second second worker or developer or client pulls that new information and updates his project. And internally it manages the version. So if you are working something and you pull the repository, it will not replace everything that you have worked on. It will integrate your work also. It will keep your work also. It will integrate the previous or the pulled code also. That is how GitHub works. So that is the general introduction. Wait for the next part. I will give more details. Until then, goodbye, thank you, and thanks a lot for watching. Bye bye.